Hey dolls, welcome back to your Royal BFF, the People's Duchess. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Ciao. Did you guys happen to catch the Commonwealth Games? Yeah, me neither. They apparently wrapped recently, and look, I'm not going to say I was creeped out, but I think it merits a conversation. There are so many elements in those pictures and videos. I just want to make sure I'm not hallucinating any of this. Ministry of Hacks on TikTok put out this video, and I want to get into it, and then we'll chat on the other side.
Morning friends, happy Sunday, how the heck you doing? Well, William, Kate and the children were pushed out to work yesterday at the penultimate day of the Commonwealth Games. A very strange day to choose, to say the least. But remember, we know William and Kate from the Royal Rota have been confirmed as having crisis talks over Meghan and Harry's successful visit to the UK. Those crisis talks probably told them you need to get out more and you need to work. The PR from the public is that you're always on holiday. So this is no doubt why they were there. Why did they go to the day before the games close? And why did they go and see a netball match, one of the shortest events in the whole of the Commonwealth Games? Well, they chose the shortest event in the whole of the Commonwealth Games and to go the day before the close because it allows them to show up and take the glory with doing the minimum amount of work. My hacks on the ground told me they were there on site for less than an hour and 45 minutes. And this will be classed in the Royal Diary as a full work day. Why didn't they go to the opening ceremony to put the focus on the Commonwealth Games to drive ticket sales and help make it a financial success? Why didn't they go to the full closing ceremony to celebrate what a brilliant success the Commonwealth Games have been? Because, dear reader, there's a playbook here. They take the maximum that they can and give back the minimum that they are allowed to get away with. And yesterday, the miserable faces, and I'll say it again for the royalists in the comments, I watched the extensive video of yesterday, everything on numerous TV channels, and the children did not smile once. This pantomime is what the UK is paying for. This family brings shame through their work-shy efforts and scandal from people like Andrew and William taking cash in a suitcase. They bring shame on the UK and it's time for change.
My whole thing is, why would that be the game plan? Why would do exactly what you're doing, but more, be the game plan? More vacations, more PDA, more Harry and Meghan cosplay? Like, why is that still the game plan? It hasn't worked so far, has it? Last time I checked, the monarchy's numbers were at an all-time low. So why is it still the game plan to just go out there and act like nothing's wrong and just keep doing the same thing? It's weird. First of all, I don't believe these crisis talks ever took place. They're just panicking, as they always do, whenever the Sussexes take a deep breath. It's ridiculous, and this isn't helping. This doesn't help them whatsoever. They are in full-blown crisis panic mode over a visit. This is so out of touch. And how are you oppressed? How is this visit oppressive to you personally? Why do you want sympathy for that? It's not helpful to you guys at all to be telling us that you're having crisis talks. Why are you in crisis because your brother visited the UK? Listen to yourselves. You sound so out of touch with reality. A real crisis is not being able to afford food and housing and medicine or education. Y'all are pulling the ultimate victim card. That is not a crisis. Just sit in one of your homes. You don't have to go outside if you don't want to. You don't have to be anywhere near anyone you don't want to be around. It's not a crisis for you. You have not been oppressed by anyone's visit to the UK. You need to come down off of this apocalyptic horse that you're on and take a look around you and see what you can do for the people instead of this woe is me, pitiful, shot yourself in the foot, but now you want sympathy for that act. It is so unreal. It's just unreal and actually quite offensive, to be honest. I don't understand why two people who have guaranteed job security for themselves and every generation after them, well, until the inevitable revolt of the people, but until then, you still have all the power in the world. You're about to have the top job in your country. What are you still competing with two people in California for? Well, in your mind, you're competing. You really aren't because you do not compare and you don't compete where you don't compare. But in your mind, you're having this battle royale with the Sussexes, and it's so weird. The Sussexes show up. They're not worried about you. They care deeply. They're there for the veterans and the families. They're not worried about popularity the whole time. It's not about aesthetics for them. They're not fake about it. Where were you during the two most important ceremonies during these games? Why didn't you have anything to say to the crowd? Why didn't you address the competitors? Why didn't you say anything to anyone? This is what people are sick and tired of. They had to cut their costs significantly down to about 150 million pounds. When they hosted these games last in 2014, that budget was upwards of 543 million pounds. When Birmingham hosted the games in 2022, that budget was 778 million pounds. They have slashed the budget to a fraction of its original cost, and yet you guys are getting pay raises year after year after year. Just showing up one day or 2 days, maybe even 3 whole days out of the month to do a 1 hour, 2 hour event, smiling and waving, and then just going home. And people are starting to ask, how is this worth even a sixpence of my money? When your brother and his wife do this on their own dime and still benefit the people, still benefit Well Child, Scotty's Little Soldiers, the Hub Community Kitchen, the biggest testament to Megan's work ethic, her first project is still benefiting the people of that community. They were getting thoughts and prayers from the royal family after the Grenfell fires, but Meghan came in and gave them a tangible solution to benefit them financially to get themselves back to where they were prior to the fires. So she did all that. And she wasn't even actually being funded at that time. Charles was so petty and vindictive and jealous already of Meghan that he didn't even want to pay for her right out the gate. Meghan was doing all of that on her own, on bare bones budget, if there was any from the royals, but for the most part on her own, buying her own clothes, buying her own furnishings for the house that she moved into with her man. Like, they weren't funding her. So if they can do all of these wonderful things without having to be publicly funded, people are starting to really look towards their royal family and going, well, what the heck, man? You're getting absolutely nothing for the hundreds of millions of pounds every year. And even when they do show up, when they're smiling and waving and doing that whole shtick, it's giving low energy 2007 Hillary Duff doing the With Love choreography. And it's high time y'all started asking more questions. And you know what? That crisis manager ain't worth a damn. She needs to be advising them to do their own thing, to get on their YouTube or do something that they can put out regularly, even if it's something as little as just starting a podcast or starting a YouTube channel that shows something, anything that isn't just a bunch of fluff pieces with music and them walking around smiling and waving. People want to be proud of their monarchy, and this isn't anything to write home about. Get you a real job. Even the douchiest member of your family, Mike Tyndall, has a podcast and he's being paid from the proceeds of that podcast, which is more commendable. Trash as the podcast is, it is commendable of him to put forth that effort and get money in return for that. So if you guys at least, at the very minimum, fired up that old YouTube page and started producing actual content, if Princess Karen right now fired up that YouTube and said, this is my research from the early years, starting with year 1 and then do a series on that, then move into year 2, do a series on that, year 3, do like a 5-part series for the first 5 years. You can sound everything out phonetically. They'll do as many cuts and takes as you need. It's better than just bobbleheading along like you are now. Oh my gosh. You guys remember their YouTube? They do nothing but shorts now. The last like full featured thing that they did was 2 months ago, and then before that it was the Earthshot stuff. So like the content just isn't there. Ugh, gosh. It still sticks in my mind how cringy the first video is. Kid you not, the first order of business in that video is William telling his wife not to say anything dumb, literally threatening her to keep her mouth shut. The clip is wild.
By the way, you be careful what you say now, because these guys, they film you. I know. By the way, you be careful what you say now, because these guys, they film you. I know.
First of all, she looked terrified. Both of them looked pretty nervous, but I don't understand why shut your mouth would be the first thing out of William's mouth. Like, why would he even say that? Why doesn't he trust his wife? What did you think she would blurt out that you had to caution her to watch her mouth before the video even began? And then the rest of this video is just a bunch of clips of them hanging out, smoking hookah, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, this was not the best introduction, I would say, to their page. It's a very strange video. And each of their videos subsequent to that are no better. They're just a bunch of clips put together with the music. There's not much in the way of their work, or, you know, in her case, the 2 or 3 sentences she can string together at a time without gagging on her accent. It's just not landing. This whole smile and wave number isn't landing with people because people have gotten a look into who you are. Now, there are still a large number of people who don't care that you're racist, and you're not even impressing them. And they're dumb and easy to impress. Even just put Billiam up there to talk about the Earthshot, get the winners up there, tell them what they're doing with the Earthshot prize money, anything. But yeah, strange fruit. So this is considered work, and they showed up to this netball event, just under 2 hours, no fanfare. Why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you have anything to say to the crowds or the competitors? You even had like the perfect opportunity to turn the whole kerfuffle with Victoria pulling out and Glasgow having to step in at the last minute. You had the perfect opportunity to crack a joke, break the ice, maybe say something about how you and George had to spend a couple weekends building the sets yourself. Anything would have been enough to satisfy those people that came out. It would have been human of you, but you're not human. You're not human, and you don't think anything of the people that still support you. You think they're stupid. You think that they haven't paid any attention to the controversy surrounding these games and why they're not in Victoria all of a sudden. You don't care about the people, and you don't care enough about the athletes to even say a few words. People can't relate to you. Bringing your kids there to shield you from some of that doesn't change anything either. The support for the monarchy is at an all-time low, and here you guys are just sticking to the old 1950s playbook of smiling and waving. Yeah, the kids soften the blow, but it's all just propaganda, and people thankfully are beginning to snap out of it. This Andrew thing has really brought the hammer down. Even the people that don't have a stake in whether or not you and the Sussexes get along are not too happy with how you guys are shielding and harboring Andrew from justice. It's completely unfair. Virginia lost her life. Thousands of other children struggle into adulthood, and harboring him, paying for him to live out his life comfortably at Wood Farm, that is infuriating. They're still going to give Andrew his security, his staff, all his expenses are still covered. He doesn't have a job. He will never have a real job for the rest of his life, and the royal family don't care that you know that they're funding him for the rest of his life. That relationship is more important to them than you. And the fake distancing yourself from him is equally offensive. You were just gallivanting around, riding around with him in the car to church, taking him publicly under your wing. And it wasn't until that second set of photos dropped where showed him on all fours, he couldn't deny it anymore, that you finally said, okay, let's not be seen with him in public anymore. But y'all were just kikiing with him the other day. And didn't you say that you'd prefer him as a neighbor to the Sussexes? I think a better strategy would be to keep the Sussexes' name out your mouth and face your work. Your kids are growing up right before you. And if you're not careful, they're going to make one misstep and the media is going to be right down their throats as well. And let's see how you handle that. Let's see how you handle the media sidestepping you and going after your kids once they hit 16, 17, 18, 19. I mean, George is going to Eton pretty soon here. He's at an age where he knows what's going on. The kids are going to be talking about this. The children are definitely talking about what their parents are talking about. These kids already are exposed to the truth about the situation, and it doesn't look good that their parents are obsessed. It doesn't look good that their parents won't let this one-sided beef go. Like, why can't you, if not for yourselves or your country, be the bigger people, why can't you do that for your children to show your children that you're better than that? Why are you still so incandescent with rage and you're raising 3 kids who are impressionable? This is a very impressionable age, and all they hear about is their dad raging 24/7 and their mom being a bitter Becky all the time, and how so many people are mad at them because their Uncle Andrew is a nonce who their dad and their grandfather is harboring safely on the outskirts of town. And if you think they're going to get any leeway because they're royals, you might want to go read up on the Charles and William stories at Eton. That's not healthy. That's not a healthy role model to have in the house. Their behavior is just so juvenile. And if these Commonwealth games and the latest rounds of polling aren't confirmation of how sick and tired people are of this royal family, then I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You're either living in Delulu land or Derangerville, because the writing is on the wall. And for the countries who are still participating in these Commonwealth games, shame on you. These people have robbed you, not just of your wealth, not just of your dignity and your integrity and futures. They have literally robbed you of everything except your life. That's all you have. And with this short, beautiful life, you're choosing to live it under voluntary colonial rule you're calling the Commonwealth. These same people who won't even apologize or give you back your stuff. You're calling yourselves Commonwealth with them, and they're just laughing at you, robbing you of your resources and laughing at you. How are you still taking that deal knowing who these people are? Where is the commonality in the wealth? They're getting paid £500 million a year, and you can't even visit the UK. The borders are closed to you. These people are playing in your face. They've always played in your face. So I don't understand why you're still participating in these colonial games. There's nothing that they offer you. Absolutely nothing, and you're going to get even less when William ascends the throne. William has said over and over again he doesn't care for the Commonwealth like that, and he's going to be a work-from-home king, so good luck with that. And I've never seen the benefit of wanting to turn around and shake hands and break bread with people who are so brutal to you. You watched in 4K, just like the rest of us, as the monarchy purged Meghan Sussex out. You watched as the media told her over and over and over again, you're not welcome here. The royal family did their best to echo that sentiment in any way they could. And when they couldn't break her fast enough, they concocted the coup d'etat of lies. That didn't tell you anything. That didn't reveal to you how much disdain and hatred they have for you. The resource agreements that you have with them currently to mine your resources, is it fair? Does it give them an upwards advantage over you even though you're the one they're mining the resource from? You don't even need to fire them in a big to-do. Just pick up the phone and say, hey man, contract over. We're pulling this contract. We will take it from here. They can't declare war. If you kick them out of your country, a la Ibrahim Traore and France, nothing go happen. They don't fit do anything to you. They can't do anything about that. They don't have any choice. They can't go to war with you over staying in your land. So it's easier today than it has ever been to rid yourself of colonial influence and the negativity and the self-hate and all the harm they have caused you. Cut ties, Stop with all this Commonwealth nonsense. Cut ties, strengthen your own nations, build yourselves up. Forget about these people. They don't have anything good intended for you. They never have. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, join the membership. We have a lot of fun in members only. Buy me a coffee if you're so inclined and want to support the channel. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Please be safe out there, be kind to yourselves, and until next time, bye for now.